I'm Lindsay Lowry. I grew up in Ardsley, New York, which is a small town in Westchester County. I then went to do my undergrad at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, where I majored in physics and math, but really focused on physics. And while I was there, I got involved in a research lab working on a telescope called CLASS, which I then stayed for a year after I graduated before deciding to come here to UCSD for my graduate school. So I've been in San Diego a little over 4 years now, and even though I do miss my friends and family in New York a lot, it's really incredible having great weather all year round. I get really, really cold, so winter in New York is not a fun time. And winter here, it's great. You can go to the beach in January and make all of my New York friends jealous. So I love doing that. I also love rock climbing. I've been outdoor rock climbing a few times. And then UCSD is great because it's this huge school and it has facilities like a gymnastics gym where I go twice a week now, usually, which is something that I hadn't done since high school. When I was growing up in elementary school, I really liked math. It kind of had this very logical way about it and it made sense to me. I also really enjoyed looking up at the sky, the daytime sky, the nighttime sky, whatever it may be, but I didn't really focus that interest until much later in my life. It was just something that always kind of amazed me. So I liked math in elementary school, but it kind of also felt like it was lacking this real life practical application to it. And so when I was able to take a physics class in high school, that's when I realized that this is really the type of work that I enjoy doing, where it's based in this mathematical framework, but it really applies in so many ways elsewhere. And so that's why I went to Johns Hopkins, kind of knowing that this was a likely choice for major for me. And when I got there, I enjoyed my physics classes a lot, but I again kind of had this feeling that I was missing out on some practical applications, especially because all of my friends, all of my close friends seemed to be engineers and they were learning how to use different tools and just seemed to be developing more real-life skills than I was. And so I actually felt really fortunate when I took a cosmology class, which led me into this field of cosmology and studying the sky, which I had kind of liked but never really looked at too closely as a kid. But I actually asked that professor if I could do research in his lab, and I learned that there's this whole world of experimental physics or experimental cosmology that combines all this physics and cosmological ideas and big picture questions about the universe, combines that with this practical side of actually developing the tools, using our hands to make these tools that can find the answers to those questions. So here at UCSD, I work on the Simons Array project, which is an extension of the Polar Bear telescope that's placed in the Atacama Desert in Chile. So the Simons Array is 3 separate telescopes with upgraded receivers that house in total over 20,000 detectors. And so these 3 telescopes are going to be coming into operation one by one in the next year or so. And so I've been working on developing those, testing those, designing enclosures for different systems for the past 4 years, and we're soon going to get to see all of them in action. So one other thing that I do here at UCSD is I'm actually one of the leaders of the Graduate Women in Physics group here on campus. And this is because even though personally I felt that my gender in this field hasn't been an issue for me, I know that for many women it is. And that's just because for so long there have been so many more men than women in this field of physics. And that means that there are barriers that women face that are causing them to leave the field at every stage within academia and within other industry jobs. And so I feel strongly that we need to work to be supportive and try to foster an environment where girls and women throughout their career feel that they're not being pushed away because of barriers that have absolutely nothing to do with their scientific ability or their passion for science or any of these other external factors. And so the Women in Physics group is one way that I'm hoping is helping current graduate students and incoming graduate students feel supported. And then additionally, there are outreach events, going to demos, reaching younger girls in the community and just younger kids in general to get them excited about science.